For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. Happy New Year, as they say. Welcome to January 2018. We've got a very, very full show for you. Lots of things will begin to happen in the month of January, and we're going to begin with a fella by the name of Mr. Demagowski. Nice to see you.
Good to see you, Mr.
New
Dingman.
Principal of St. Clair, well, as of last September, of St. Clair Middle School. Beautiful place, and lots of great students, right?
Wonderful kids, wonderful parents, wonderful community, which is something we're going to be talking about today, I'm sure.
Okay. You and I are here to talk today about the East China Education Foundation. Right from the beginning, what is that?
The East China Educational Foundation, a wonderful group of people, wonderful group that really just raises money and helps support the district, supports the teachers in the district. We raise some money, do a couple events per year, and what we do is allow the teachers to apply for grants for that money, and then look through the grant applications and then approve some of those grants and put money back into the classrooms. Really going right back to help the kids.
So a teacher may be spotting something that they think is useful, and at the time the budget of the building or the district doesn't allow them to have it, and so they can apply to this group.
That's exactly right. So oftentimes, as we know, budgets are set before the school year starts. You know, and if teachers request something, and particularly the word I hate using, especially as a building principal, is no. But oftentimes you have to do that, you know, when the costs get a little bit higher and the requests are, well, why are you requesting that? It's interesting, and you want to say yes. So oftentimes what I've done is I've referred to the teachers back to the East China Educational Foundation to apply for a grant, which we do 2 times a year, in the spring and the fall, and hopefully they get the grant. And the East China Educational Foundation has been really generous to the teachers and generous to the district, and we really appreciate everything they do, and we do.
They normally give out about $7,000–8,000 worth of prizes, or not prizes, but grants.
But grants, yep.
Each granting period, and they've raised money from different things that go on in order to give that stuff away, right? That's
exactly right. So there's 2 big events that they do. They've done Taste Fest, which is held at the hospital the last couple of years. I believe I was on here a couple months ago, actually, talking about Taste Fest. And then one thing we have coming up in February, in fact, February 10th, is the 5K, the Chili Heart 5K, which has been going on, I believe this is 6th or 7th year now. We've been doing this.
Well, and when it first started, it was crazy. Why would you have a 5K in February outside?
Well, I tell you what, I was one of those people to think that because I wasn't even on the foundation yet. But now that you're involved in the foundation, or I'm involved in the foundation, you really see the reasons why we do it, and you see the support the community gives it. And each year, it's kind of gotten bigger and bigger. And last year, I think we have about 160 participants or so last year. So each year it's gotten bigger and bigger. So we're excited about this year.
Where's
the course is right by St. Clair Middle School. Actually, everything is housed right at St. Clair Middle School. It goes up through Yankee, down the bike trail, right through the Highlands, and then right back up the bike trail back to St. Clair Middle School. So it's a 3.1-mile course.
And the DPW guys have helped you out every year by brushing the snow and the ice off of the bike path.
Yes, they do a great job, not just the morning of and the night before, but they do a great job the day before, or 2 days before, cleaning it off, salting it, making sure it's nice and clear for the runners to run through so it's nice and safe.
Okay, now if I want to be a runner or a walker, what do I have to do?
Well, there's a lot of ways that you can sign up. The best way is just go to the East China Educational Foundation Facebook page. And that Facebook page actually has the registration link. Another easy way to go ahead and sign up for the Chili Heart 5K run is just go to the East China webpage. It's posted on the East China webpage as well. You can find it on the Michigan Runners web pages and a lot of other areas as well, but those are the 2 easiest places to find it.
Okay.
It'll be shared, leading up to February 10th, it'll be shared like crazy through Facebook, so that's a real easy way to find it.
So the race starts at about 8 o'clock, I think?
The race starts at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Registration starts at 7:30, and once again, it's February 10th. It's Saturday, February 10th, and registration's at 7:30, right at St. Clair Middle School, and the race starts at 9 o'clock.
Okay. Wonderful. We've had some of the sponsors rolling up. A great one there, Marine City Fish Company. So you're getting some some support from the local businesses too.
Yeah, what's great about it is the foundation, all the money raised from this comes into the foundation, and goes right back out to the teachers and the students. But, we see Marine City Fish Company in there, and McLaren, and the East China Educational Association, Wesley Orthodontics, a lot of different places in the community. A lot of different businesses have supported us. Karadimas, Leonard Karadimas, and Riverbank Youth Theater, so on and so forth, have sponsored. So all of the money that we get through these sponsors as well also goes right back towards grants towards teachers and students. Okay. So if there are any sponsors out there that still want to sponsor,
there you go.
$100, anything more, less, whatever they'd like to sponsor, we'd love to take them. And once again, all that money goes right back into the classroom.
And maybe I shouldn't say it, but they've had a very unique gift every year at the end of the race, which is Ackett's Soup. Yes,
there's Ackett's Soup. We're working on that right now. From Colleen Stover, as you know, is usually working on that one, and we're pretty confident that that's going to come through again. So Ackett's has been very generous for all the participants to go home with a cup of soup.
Oh yeah.
So
it's frozen, but
it's frozen, but it is good, and I've taken my cup home every year and had my fill. So as a participant, but that's a real nice thing. Also with awards this year, we're switching it up a little bit. We used to do some trophies. This year we're giving out really nice plaques, and we got really nice medals given out to every runner. So couple new things this year, but we're looking forward for it to be a really nice race.
It's called the Chili Heart Run.
Chili Heart 5K Run.
And the date again?
February 10th. It starts at 9 a.m. at St. Clair Middle School.
And just go on Facebook and look in for East China Education Foundation, and you should be able to pop up the more information.
Absolutely. You can go on. The best two ways are Facebook and then the East China webpage to sign up.
Mr. Demogowski, always a pleasure to see you, sir. You're running a great campus out there on Yankee Road.
Got a lot of great teachers, a lot of great staff, so thank you.
Coming up next, a friend by the name of Deb Johnson will be right along in just a second. Deb Johnson, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Nice to see you, dear.
It's great to see you, too.
You are a busy person, and you've got some information for us that's pretty positive about January.
Well, in January, we like to talk about New Year's resolutions, and it's just another opportunity really to take care of yourself and maybe set some goals for yourself.
Okay.
Although one thing I do want to say is you don't have to just wait for New Year's to make a resolution. I think you should sort of think about it all year long. Some people go into a new year thinking, I'm gonna lose weight, quit smoking, do this, exercise every day. You can't do it all.
No.
So pick one of the things to focus on
and get started.
And get started on it. And I was looking at some different research, because I remember when I was working out at the gym, a friend of mine said, it takes 10 days for a new habit. You got to come 10 days in a row, and then you'll be used to coming back in the morning. Well, I think it's actually more than 10 days. The research is it's all over the board, really.
Right.
But most people say, or most of the research indicates that it takes more than 21 days to change a habit. So if you have a bad habit, it might take 21 days to change it or more. Smoking, eating,
that kind of thing.
Exercising or not exercising, like you like to watch TV every day,
right,
and you want to get to where you're going to start walking every day. So, and it takes that many days or more to develop the positive habit. So you just got to focus on it and think about it every day, and set little goals for yourself, and kind of remember that. I always say this about the weight loss one, which that's going to be one of mine again this year. I do it all year long, though. I guess on and off I do it. I guess, but you didn't gain, like, let's say you're 20 pounds overweight. You didn't gain that in a week.
No.
So you're not going to lose it in a week.
Right.
It takes time to do it.
Correct.
So you just have to give yourself time. So.
Your agency, St. Clair County Community Mental Health, has seen a lot of changes in the last few years. What does 2018 look like for your agency?
Well, it looks pretty good right now. Currently, we're doing okay with our budget. There is a particular issue, but it's a little too complicated to explain. It has to do with how we get a certain amount of money for people every month if you're in Medicaid, and then there's different categories. And the state, somehow, some people have been diverted from a category that paid like about $250 a month per person to about 25, 30 bucks a month. I can't remember the exact number. Right. So statewide, it has caused, it's a millions of dollar problem. And actually, Kent County, there was just something on the news that they're closing a number of their any of the non-required programs, they're closing them because of the funding issues, and it's that problem. So that's something we're going to be looking at more closely, and we probably need to start we've been doing some advocacy on that, but we need to do more because it's a problem that nobody's sure exactly how it happened, but it needs to be fixed, and so it impacts our funding tremendously. I'm not sure what's going to happen, nationally, depending on what happens with the Affordable Care Act, the new tax bill, which no longer requires people to mandatory sign up for insurance. That could have an impact on us in terms of if people don't have insurance and they come to us and they have mental health crisis or issues, and if their general fund. Our general fund has been cut steadily over the years, and even more so when Medicaid expansion happened, because we didn't really have a need for a lot of general fund. But if we lose that Medicaid expansion, which hasn't been cut yet, so we have to hope that it doesn't do that. So it's hard to predict the future because there's so many unknown variables at the national level. Primarily, there's some at the state level, but it's really more the national level, I think, that we're watching closely. But for now, we're in pretty good shape. We're looking at a couple of new programming options.
You've got facilities in Yale, in Marine City.
KPAC,
Marine City, in downtown, or in Port Huron on Electric Avenue. And you serve thousands of people.
Yep, we serve over 4,000 people a year throughout the county. We have a budget of approximately $55 million.
Wow.
So it's a lot of money, and we provide a lot of services. We provide a lot of the services to our direct operated employees. We employ close to 300 people, direct operated, and then we contract out for services to places, there's a whole range, but like places people have probably heard of, like Innovative Housing Development Corporation, Blue Water Development, Blue Water Development. Oh my gosh.
It's one of those ones that's a Monday morning kind of thing.
Yeah, no, gosh, and Kathy Swantek's the director of that.
Right.
But anyways, and Impact Corporation, there's Professional Counseling Center, there's the NorServe Agency, Renewal Christian Counseling. There's lots of different agencies that we contract with, Visiting Nurse Association. So through those agencies that we contract with, they provide the other 60% of the services. With probably over 1,000, 1,400 employees maybe, through the funding that we receive. So we're a pretty big employer in the county.
Yeah.
And hope to stay that way.
Right.
And hope to keep achieving some good outcomes. We're looking at possibly opening, actually we've just issued a request for proposals to open up another specialized residential group home for adults with mental illness.
Oh, good.
In an attempt to keep people from and to keep them out of the hospital. We have a crisis home. The beds seem to be full all the time, which suggests to us we need another home, so we can free up some capacity. Because if we can, it's better to serve people in the community. Whenever that's an option.
You got something coming up, human trafficking. Is this a seminar or what is this?
It's a training, and actually, if you're a social worker, you can get 2 CEUs. That costs $20 if you're not one of our staff to get the CEUs, and that's cheap to pay for your continuing ed credits. It's on human trafficking. It's January 26th. The morning session is already full. We're capping it at 75 people. The afternoon, though, we have about 30-some slots available. And if anybody's interested in attending that training, they can call Tammy Lake at our office, 966-2597. If you didn't write that down, you can Google Community Mental Health and say you want to sign up for the training. This Professor Elizabeth Campbell is supposed to be really good. She is a professor at the University of Michigan Law School, and she's doing the presentation.
And ironically, human trafficking has been in the news in Port Huron with a couple of arrests up there. And it's a problem that we don't discuss a lot, but it certainly is going on.
Yeah, and actually, I think I've heard from law enforcement that it's a bigger problem than a lot of us think that it is. And so it is something our staff need to be trained to identify. We had a really unusual situation in one of our offices recently, and I'm glad our staff had the wherewithal to think that might be the situation and contacted law enforcement. They were there right away. They assisted, and turned out it was a person who was here illegally. But it was sketchy. So, better safe than sorry. You check into that stuff. So, but overall, I mean, we're looking forward to a good year. And
well, you get that smile on your face.
Yeah. If I just get rid of this throat situation, I'll be good.
Don't give it to me.
It's not contagious.
The lady's name is Deb Johnson. She's Executive Director of St. Clair County Community Mental Health, and we're always pleased to see her because she's always got lots of wonderful information. Back with our next guest in just a second. Beginning of 2018, we've got some gentlemen that we want you to meet because you may see them on the street. You may have a rude awakening one day or a very pleasant experience. Let's begin with the new police chief, the city of St. Clair, Tim Raker. I'll get that down after 5 or 6 years, And you were just sworn in or became the police chief over the period of the holidays. And Rick Jefferson retired after a number of years, and we thought we better get you and some of your new men in here and just say hello.
Perfect.
So how long you been in the criminal police work?
36 years.
Just a beginner.
Yeah, just new
a
at this.
beginner.
36 years.
And you were with the Marysville department for a long time.
Yeah, I was with them for 22.
22 years?
Yes.
And you've been with St. Clair for?
I was hired as a part-time officer January last year, 2016.
12 months ago.
Yes.
Okay. And Rick decided to retire, and you came aboard, and that's wonderful.
Yes.
Got a great experience. What's the thing you like best about police work?
The thing I like best about police work is it's never the same every day.
Okay.
You never get bored.
No. And so have you worked for other departments or just Marysville the whole time?
I worked for Houston, Texas for 8 years, Marysville for 22, and St. Clair.
Okay, so all right. And next to you is Colin, and pronounce your last name?
Elu.
And you are a new officer to the city of St. Clair.
I am.
And how long you been on duty for St. Clair?
It's been 1 year as of yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you and the chief came aboard about the same time.
We were actually sworn in on the same day.
Yep.
Same day?
Same day.
Okay. What did you do before you became a police officer?
I graduated from college prior to that. So
Did you take criminal?
yeah, I got my bachelor's in criminal justice.
Criminal
and then
justice?
Went to the police academy, and then a couple months after the police academy, I got hired in here. So,
Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Had you always wanted to be a police officer?
Not always, no. I was switched careers multiple times.
Well, a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Many of us do that. That's nothing out of the ordinary. But
Right.
so far, your year, how's it been in little old sleepy St. Clair?
Everyone thinks it's sleepy. There's always something to do, though. So it's been a fun ride so far. So.
Okay. And down on the end, we have Tyler?
Travis. Yep.
And pronounce the last one?
Summerer.
And you, how long have been with the department?
About 6 months.
About 6 months. What did you do before?
I went to Fair State University for 4 years and got my bachelor's in criminal justice.
So it's a real love of yours too, then, if
Yep.
you want to be a
Yes, sir.
police officer.
Yes, sir.
Chief, the city council meeting the other night, you had this young man up on the podium next to you to tell me about what happened.
He responded to a call of a female not breathing and immediately started CPR and brought her back to life.
Pretty phenomenal for a new officer. How long had you been on duty when that happened?
That was about 5-6 months. It was
5-6
recent,
months
yeah.
when you were into the job, and that had to be very rewarding. And the city council recognized it, right?
Yes. And actually, I made a mistake last night because I said the department guys have saved 3 lives in 2017, but they actually saved 4.
4 lives.
Yes.
In
Officer-
this department.
in this part, Officer Patchett saved 2 in one day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I'm not there yet.
you're not there. What are you looking forward to in criminal justice arena? You would like to be a chief someday?
Someday.
At this point,
someday.
it's too early to find out.
Yeah, it's too early. I'm still learning.
Okay. What do you have these gentlemen doing? Are they working days, nights, weekends?
They're
What
both
are they?
working nights. Both work nights.
Midnights.
Do patrol duties, which
Okay,
means they
it's
answer.
a good
the-
way to start and learn the trade.
Yes.
Lots of experience.
Lots of experience. Anybody want to make any more comments? Nothing about it?
What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, we're just happy to have you in town, and nice
Yeah.
to see you, and nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
Welcome you, and hope you have great careers here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Good
it.
seeing you, Chief.
Yes, thank you,
so
sir.
much. Thank you, sir.
you.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
meeting you.
Nice to see you. See you
too.
in the hallway. That's the new police officers and the new chief here in the city of St. Clair. We'll be back with a story about cowboy hats and a dance coming up in Marine City. Be right back. And boots and chaps and cowboy hats. Erica DeLang, you've got a party coming on. What's
What's
this party?
Howdy, partner. It's our this is our annual recognition gala, and every year we pick a theme. So this year we picked boots, chaps, and cowboy hats. And at our gala, it's our chamber event, our chamber gala. So this year we'll be re-recognizing our Spotlight Members of the Month,
Yep.
our Volunteer of the Year,
Yep.
and then we're also introducing a new recognition that I can't tell you about. You have to
can't tell
come
us.
and find out what
Okay,
it is.
all
Yes,
righty.
yes.
Boots, chaps, and cowboy hats. That
Yes.
just is a cute name.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
really is, really
yeah,
is.
we're excited. So we're encouraging everyone and anyone to come. You don't have to be a chamber member or a business owner. We want community people to come as well. We'll have line dancing and Big River
Are you
Barbecue.
going to teach line
I
dancing?
might.
You
You
might.
never know. And then Big River Barbecue is doing the food for us. And
That's worth the price of
Delicious.
admission right there.
exactly. And then I want to thank our sponsors as well. We have McBride Manley, North Star Bank, and Bar Rose Funeral Home are all sponsors
Aren't those
this year.
people just wonderful? They
Oh,
just
yeah.
keep supporting
Yes.
everybody in the community.
We have a yes. We
All
have a
three of
great-
those people.
Yes, absolutely. We have a great group of supporters
Right.
in our community. So yeah, so this is our way to kick off the year, literally, and welcome everyone into 2018 and just have a really good time. We had a lot of fun last year, so.
Was
looking
it?
forward
It
to
was the boots, chaps, and cowboy hats last year.
No, last year we did a Great Gatsby theme.
Okay,
That was
okay.
the 1920s. So
Yeah.
this year, yeah, so you never know what next year will bring.
Right.
But this year we thought it'd be fun if you come, please dress up, kick off get out your cowboy boots and dust them off and your cowboy hats.
And the music is provided by.
We have a DJ this year, so
Okay.
it'll be, country, line dancing, fun music. So,
Okay.
yeah, and then our award ceremony will be at 8 o'clock. So it starts at 6 with appetizers and drinks, dinner's at 7, awards at 8, and then party till midnight after that.
It sounds like a great evening.
Yeah.
And it's a great date too, because you've had a couple of weeks to rest from all the holiday
Mm-hmm.
festivities, and now it's time to get rid of that cabin fever and go
Yeah.
have some fun.
Absolutely. Well, that's what we hoped is, January gets a little,
Yeah.
especially with the cold, everybody gets a little, cabin fever. So
Right.
we're hoping everyone will come out and celebrate with us and have a good time. They can get tickets online by going to www.visitmarinecity.com, and there's a link right at the top of the page, and
Okay.
they can push on that and get tickets. And
How about on your website? Can they do it on
that's our website.
Oh, that is
Yep,
for you.
that's our chamber website,
Okay.
so they can go right there and get tickets.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now after January, what you got coming up?
Then we'll have our llama races in March. Yeah, so we'll be back to talk about that. That was a great success last year. We're really looking forward to this year. All of our llamas are sponsored. We anticipate selling out on that event. So
Cool.
yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And then after that, we'll have our annual golf outing. So
Okay.
yeah, so
You're
that'll
gonna be you're going to be a busy
May
woman.
19th.
Busy
May
woman, as always.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to this year. We have a lot of fun things coming up. So we'll be back to talk about that for sure. All right.
Thank you there. Erica, you're doing a
see you.
fine job there, young lady, with your
Thank you.
cowboy hat on.
Thanks.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about a clinic that the St. Clair County Health Department is going to have, and we'll hear from them in just a second. As I reestablish my connection with the world there. Hey, welcome back. Paul Dingelman here. Nice to see you. And Jennifer Mahalik from the St. Clair County Health Department is across the table from me to talk about a very important thing that's happening in a couple of weeks here in St. Clair, but there's an epidemic going on in the county, right?
There's an outbreak going on in Southeast
Not an
Michigan.
epidemic.
Yep, it's called an outbreak.
Okay. And what is that outbreak?
It's hepatitis A.
Okay.
Which is inflammation of the liver caused by the hepatitis A virus.
Okay.
And we can go through some of the slides on what that entails.
Why does it affect the community?
Well, St. Clair County joined the outbreak in Southeast Michigan back in July, but this has actually been going on in Southeast Michigan since August of 2016.
Oh, really?
Right. And we just actually joined because our caseload started to increase. So it's very important that we get the message out that people need to consider getting the hepatitis A vaccination to help protect themselves from getting it in the first place, and also to practice good prevention methods.
There was an incident downriver last fall, where there was a restaurant worker that contracted the disease, and the restaurant had to close, and that's what you're trying to prevent?
Well, the restaurant actually didn't close, but they took preventative measures so they didn't have to.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
However, that we want to let people know that anywhere that you might eat, whether you go out to eat, you make your own food, things like that, anyone can get hepatitis A. But we really want to focus on these high-risk groups that we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
You brought along a PowerPoint.
I did.
So
we
why don't
actually
you go through this
we actually are starting a campaign this month, and it's a Hep A No Way.
Hep A No Way. I like that.
No Way.
That's a great slogan.
Yeah, so we wanted it to be easy for people to remember. So we also have a hashtag Hep A No Way, so people can hashtag that and they can get our information from there. We also have a hepatitis A hotline where people can call. We update that regularly with hepatitis A vaccination information.
Okay.
That's 810-966-4162, along with our website and our social media, which I'll talk about in a minute. Okay, as far as the current hepatitis A outbreak going on, as of December 20th, now these are normally every Friday we get a new case count. But in Michigan, the total cases since August of 2016 are 630.
In the whole state, okay.
Yeah, in the Southeast Michigan piece of it. And 20 deaths. Now, one thing to remember with hepatitis A is normally people shouldn't be dying of this. They can go to their doctor, they can get some treatment guidance, and then they'd be fine. But with this particular outbreak, they're seeing more hospitalizations and deaths.
Wow.
Now in St. Clair County, since we joined the Southeast Michigan outbreak, there's been 21 cases. Actually, that changed as of today, but this is on the state website. We actually have 23 now, and then 0 deaths.
Okay.
Now, one thing to note about our situation is last year, from July to December of 2016, we had absolutely 0 cases in the county.
Okay.
So this is a
quite an increase.
20-fold increase.
Right.
Okay, so we have to talk about how it spread, and it's not always a pleasant way to talk about this. So when a person unknowingly swallows fecal matter or poop, I'm just going to use some plain language here.
It's better to use the language people understand.
Exactly. Even a microscopic amount from contact with objects, food, or drink contaminated by feces or poop from an infected person. And so they get that into their mouth, and then that's how they contract it. But you can also get it by living with someone who has it, and also by having sex with someone that has it.
Okay.
And what they're seeing in this particular outbreak in Southeast Michigan is that they're seeing it in high-risk populations, which we're going to talk about specifically soon. All right, now with this, if someone has symptoms, many times they'll show up 15 to 50 days after, but people can be contagious up to around 2 weeks after they've been exposed. If someone does have symptoms, it's going to be fever, they're going to feel very tired and fatigued, nausea, they don't want to eat, jaundice, yellow skin, yellow eyes is a big one, very hard stomach pain, vomiting, throwing up, and dark pee or urine, and gray or pale poop or diarrhea.
Okay.
Now, this is what we want to really, if you know somebody who falls in these high-risk populations, we want them to please consider getting vaccinated, because what can help put a stop or at least a delay on getting this under control is by getting people vaccinated. So these are the people who really need to get their vaccine. Persons who are homeless or living in a transient living situation. People who are in jail, prison, or detention centers or have recently been in one. People who use injection and non-injection illegal drugs.
Okay.
Persons who work with the high-risk populations that are listed above that I just mentioned. Persons who have sex with someone who has the Hep A virus. Men who have sex with men. Food service employees, healthcare workers, and really any persons who wish to be immunized against it can get the vaccine. But we really want to try to get those people in those top bullets vaccinated as much as we can.
Why do you cite food service workers?
Because if someone who is a food service worker gets hepatitis A and then they prepare their food, they might not know it, then they prepare someone's food unknowingly.
Could be at McDonald's, could be at a fancy restaurant.
Right, it could be anywhere. And more and more, if you listen to the news, there are different cases involving restaurant workers. So if a restaurant employee wants to get vaccinated, we really highly encourage that.
Okay. All right. I mean, the other groups, the people in jail, that kind of stuff, they're in a captured, I don't mean that funny, to be funny, but they're in a captured environment and world, whereas the restaurant workers can be anywhere. So.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
But those are the high-risk populations. Yeah. And again, we're not going to turn anybody away who wants it. Right now, the vaccine quantity is okay, but we really want to focus on these high-risk populations.
Okay.
Okay, so this campaign we're going to start, we're using where we thought people could see the message the most. So we're doing a couple of the Blue Water Transit buses.
Those are great logos. Wow.
And our campaign is like a superhero type of campaign. So stop hepatitis A, get vaccinated, hashtag Hep A no way, and then our hotline and our number. And so those bus ads will start on some buses that will have the most visibility in the county and beyond.
High traveled routes.
Yes, high traveled routes starting, I believe, next week that rolls out. And then when our nursing staff goes out and our other staff goes out and does these community clinics we're going to talk about, we are wearing these T-shirts to identify the campaign.
I love the T-shirt. It's a great slogan.
And we're also looking at using some people in the recovery community to help us become ambassadors to get to those populations, those high-risk populations, to get those people educated and get those people vaccinated.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we had developed this poster actually to try to place it in different areas of the county where people could understand the plain language and hopefully get vaccinated. So that's just one example of what we're doing. Okay, so we received, because we're in Southeast Michigan, one of the counties that is affected by this outbreak, we received funding to help us do some community vaccination clinics, help us do that marketing campaign that we just talked about, and help us with providing certain immunizations for people who might be
important
exposed.
Stuff.
So this is we just had a clinic yesterday in K-Pac, and the next one is January 10th at Fort Gratiot Township Hall. The information is on the screen. Then January 11th, we're going out to Pine Shores Golf Club, which is here in St. Clair.
Right.
Then on the 17th, we're going to be at McMorran Place in the Memorial Room. And all those times are 10 to 6:30, and they're open to
Do I have to call and register or anything, or just show up?
Just show up. Anybody 18 and up can come. And we're asking that you bring your insurance card, because insurance, most of them cover the vaccine. And if you don't have insurance, if you're underinsured or uninsured, there'll be no charge.
That's wonderful. No charge at all.
Right.
Okay.
However, we do ask
that's
people.
really saying to the community and to the residents, this is really important. And if you have insurance, fine. But
Right.
if you don't, we're going to help you.
And another thing about those who have insurance, there'll be no administrative cost or anything. Their insurance will be billed and then we'll go for
Okay.
that. But we
All
have
right.
to try to recoup some of those costs. But those who don't have any, there'll be no fees.
Okay.
And then we do ask that you go to our website, which is www.scchealth.co, and on our front page under Health Department News, and we also have a special Hep A section, please download and complete the vaccine form. That will help move you through the line quicker.
Question, SCCHealth.co. I've not
Yes.
seen CO. Is that, it's not .com, it's
Nope.
CO.
Nope, just
Okay.
CO, and that's
Okay.
just another way to get to our website
Wow,
easier. We
I haven't
came
seen
up
that
with
one
that
before.
several years ago,
Okay,
when
I
we
haven't seen that.
revamped our whole website.
Okay, great.
You can also go through the old-fashioned way of getting to us too, but this is an easier way of finding us. And we
Okay.
also have social media. We do Facebook and Twitter. You can find us at SCCHD.mi.
So for the people here in Marine City and St. Clair and in the south end of the county, Pine Shores is this place to come,
Right.
January the 11th, from 10 in the morning till 6:30 at night.
Yes.
And if you've got insurance, great. If you don't,
Yep.
don't worry about it. Come anyways.
Right. And you do not have to pre-register.
Okay.
We will be there that whole time.
Okay.
And again, this is just some of our information. You can call our hepatitis A hotline. You can call our general health department phone number. You can also, if you want to read all about the Michigan outbreak, you can go to www.michigan.gov/hepatitis A outbreak, or our website. We have links to that as well.
Well, you're doing wonderful work, and the fact that it's a critical kind of thing that attention needs to be given to it. We're glad that you were able to come in today.
Well, thank you.
And it's topical because it's January the 11th right here in Pine Shores. So.
Right, and I just want to make sure everybody knows that this vaccine, this hepatitis A vaccine, is very, very effective.
Okay.
And so it's normally done in 2 dosage with a separation in time, but we are encouraging everybody to at least get that first one if you haven't. And it's been around for many, many years, and it has very great, it does great work.
So
prevention is best.
are you going to set up a second series of clinics and give the second shot a few months from now? Or?
We'll have to see how our funding patterns go, but people can come into the health department and we'll do media and things like that to announce it. And
Okay.
also, people need to remember too, besides the vaccination, they need to practice other things like please wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Please wash your hands before you serve any food, after you change a baby's diaper, an adult diaper, or whatever. You want to make sure that you use your own towels, don't share toothbrushes, you don't share your eating utensils with other people.
It used to be called common sense, but a lot of times we don't have that anymore.
Right. And other things too for prevention-wise is don't have sex with someone who has it. These things, if you have hepatitis A, these symptoms, please see your healthcare provider. That's very critical. And then if you are diagnosed with hepatitis A, in the health department, we have to do extensive follow-up when we have cases like this. Please be willing to talk with us, because that can help with helping get other people.
You're
get
just
other
trying to
people
help. You're just trying to help.
Help them, I should say.
And you need the cooperation and the help
Right.
of the patient themselves.
Right, and the more information we have, then hopefully we can prevent other cases.
Jennifer, you're doing great work.
Thanks, Paul.
It's a great department.
Thank you.
Anytime you guys get messages like this, we're more than happy to help you. And,
Thank you.
So it's January the 11th here in the city of St. Clair,
10 to
Marine
6:30.
City, St. Clair Township, Cotterville, all the area around here, East China. Make sure you can come in.
Yeah, you can come to that one or any of the other ones. It's
And
fine.
the other ones too. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.